Hello, this is Judgment 40, and this is the bosses of Metroid Fusion. Metroid Fusion is my favorite game, and I thought I might share the bosses one by one with you. This is the intro, this is the intro of the Metroid Fusion. I put this in here so I can tell you a little bit about what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through all the bosses, and I'm going to be talking on the way through, all the way through, basically giving out tips and making a few personal comments about the bosses myself. If you don't like my voice, there's a little thing called the volume button. Use it. Anyway, we might as well move on to the next boss, shall we? First boss, actually. And that first boss is Arachnus. Now, Arachnus is not as the name suggests. And if you look at the name, you would think you're fighting a giant spider. Well, that's later on. Right now, we're going to fight what I call a giant mutant hedgehog. It rolls up into a ball and attacks you, and fires lasers out of its claws and shoots fire at you. It's not that hard of a boss to beat. You can either pepper him with the power beam or shoot missiles at him. Either way works. I prefer the power beam though because it's fast and stuff. I don't know. I just like using it instead of the missiles. After you kill the boss, something happens in this game. You'll see in a minute. That boss turns into a Core X. Core X's only require missiles for you to kill them. And this is the only Core X in the game that requires 3 hits to be able to get killed. They're pretty easy compared to the actual bosses you fight. Now to move on to the next boss, to the Beam X Core. Now what we have here is a normal chassis station. Right? Wrong. It is actually a Core X. And these Core X's are immune to missiles. You can only hurt them by shooting them with a missile in the eye. Normally not that hard to defeat, just like normal Core X's. Pretty easy boss. Okay, it took a while for me to hit the button. Now, we move on to what I call the hopping plant. There's no official name for it, I don't believe. If anyone knows it, tell us. Anyway, this thing jumps, as you can see. In fact, it jumps 4 times in a row, and then the 5th time, it tries to eat you through its foot. I don't know. But the only way you can hurt him like that is to shoot missiles into that mouth and blow up his torso, whatever it is. Pretty easy, actually. You just need to work on... It took me a while to figure it out, though, and to actually aim right. It's very similar to a boss in the future that is extremely hard, where you have to shoot the missiles into that boss's mouth. But that's later. Right now, I need to worry about this hopping plant thing. It turns into a Core X, and you gotta kill that Core X, which requires 4 hits to kill it this time. And there you go. hit the high jump, which was extremely helpful. See there you go. You can even wall jump to make it even higher and stuff. And I believe that's enough showing off. Now, to my personal hatred, Ceres. Ceres is a fast boss, and the only way you can hurt him is by shooting a charge beam into his face. Now, it's the most annoying boss to hit, but you can either fight him on top of this platform here, or you could go under the water. Now, if you're under the water, you see the little puff of smoke that came up. That's usually your sign of where he's going to pop up. And if you have great timing, which I do not, you can time when to shoot the beam and hit him as he's coming out, which is a pretty good strategy if you ask me. Wow, I missed that. I will admit. And that was a lucky shot. I will admit. Turns into a core X, as always. Requires 4 hits to kill it. Wow, that sucked. I don't believe I ever did that bad trying to get one. Anyway, you get the speed booster for killing this boss. And that's about as much time as I have for right now. I'll make more boss guys.